Sidang hadirin dimohon berdiri. Mengumumkan keberangkatan masuk Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku Pemangku Raja Perlis. Nyanyian lagu negeri, National Anthem of Sweden dan lagu rasmi Unimap, Wawasanku. Junjung kasih Tuanku. Hadirin dipersilakan duduk. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Salam Perlis, Raja Berdaulat, Rakyat Berilmu, Negeri Sejahtera, Perlis Maju dan salam Malaysia Madani. Menghadap Duli Yang Maha Mulia Pemangku Raja Perlis, Tuanku Syed Faizuddin Putra Ibni Tuanku Syed Sirajuddin Jamalulai, ampun Tuanku. Dengan penuh hormat dan takzimnya, patut bagi pihak majlis merafak sembah menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kasih atas limpah perkenan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku Pemangku Raja berangkat ke majlis ini. Ampun Tuanku, patut bagi pihak majlis mohon ampuni limpah perkenan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku Pemangku Raja untuk patut meneruskan aturcara majlis dalam bahasa Inggeris. Ampun Tuanku, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the symbolic launching of Jom Kita Bincang and lecture series by His Excellency Dr. Joachim Bergstrom, the Ambassador of Sweden to Malaysia. Welcome and thank you for coming today. Ampun Tuanku, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite the Honourable Professor Datuk Technologist Dr. Zaliman Sauli, Vice Chancellor of UNIMAP, to deliver his speech. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih saudara pengacara. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good morning. Salam Perlis, Raja Berdaulat, rakyat berilmu, negeri sejahtera, Perlis maju. Salam ilmu, keikhlasan, kecemerlangan UNIMAP dan salam Malaysia Madani. Menghadap Duli Yang Maha Mulia Pemangku Raja Perlis, Tuanku Syed Faizuddin Putra, Ibni Tuanku Syed Sirajuddin Jamalulai, merangkap Chancellor UNIMAP. Ampun Tuanku, patut mewakili sekalian warga Universiti Malaysia Perlis dan para undangan hari ini merafak sembah menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kasih atas limpah perkenan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku Pemangku Raja berangkat hadir ke simbolik pelancaran Jom Kita Bincang dan siri syarahan umum oleh His Excellency Dr.Joachim Bergstrom, Duta Besar Sweden ke UNIMAP pada hari ini. Ampun Tuanku, patut mohon ampuni limpah perkenan Tuanku untuk menyampaikan ucapan kepada tetamu yang hadir dalam bahasa Inggeris. Ampun Tuanku. His Excellency Dr. Joachim Bergstrom, Ambassador of Sweden to Malaysia, welcome. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure and honor that we welcome His Excellency Dr. Joachim Bergstrom to UNIMAP. Today it marks a significant occasion as we have the privilege of hosting a distinguished representative from Sweden, a nation known for its innovations, education, and commitment to sustainable development. So the relationship between Malaysia and Sweden was forged in 1958, a year after Malaysia independence. From this long relationship, we have established a strong and mutual respect for one another. Our bilateral relations have witnessed remarkable growth over the years, particularly through trade and commercial exchanges. In Malaysia, our excellent relationship with Sweden can be seen in our everyday life. We can see people driving Volvo cars on the roads. By the way, I'm not yet coming soon. Companies using Scania for Scania lorries and buses to transport their goods and services, and also to commute people from city to another. And also people going to IKEA to buy furnitures, and of course to enjoy the IKEA famous Swedish meatballs. So ladies and gentlemen, University Malaysia Perlis is Malaysia's 17th public institution of higher learning, where we are one of 4 members of Malaysian Technical University Network, or MTON. So our core areas are engineering, engineering technology, science and relevance area, which our niche in electricals and electronics engineering. So UNIMAP currently offers 43 undergraduates and postgraduates programs related to the electrical and electronics sectors, that we are producing about over 3,500 graduate annually, and currently we have more than 12,500 enrollments students. So my respected guests, as one of the MTON universities, we are one of the main providers of advanced technical and vocational education trainings, or known as advanced TVET, where our main goals is to produce a highly skilled workforce tailored to industrial needs, as recently highlighted by our Deputy Prime Ministers during the launching of the National TVET Policy 2030. So in order to realize that, UNIMED has always maintained strong links with industry, providing students with opportunities for internships, practical trainings, and collaborative projects, thus enhancing their employability. Some of our notable industrial partners include Micron, Cetera, Intel, Bergstrom Medical Industries, and many more. So perhaps we can also begin to collaborate with Volvo for the electrical vehicles, or ABB, that highly known for their electrification and automations. So ladies and gentlemen, the presence of His Excellency Ambassador of Sweden to Malaysia here today through his great guest lecture will surely give us an excellent Swedish perspective and possible collaborations, especially in the context of higher educations. We are also very delighted to be working together with the Embassy of Sweden Malaysia, Yayasan Tuanku Syed Putra, and Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Perlis to enhance sustainability, health, and social issues through children literacy, with the launching of Jom Kita Bincang, or Let's Talk About It, which will be done shortly. This collaboration is initiated as an effort to promote early readings, advanced conversation, and successful practices of sustainability, health, and social issues. Jom Kita Bincang aims to leverage the Swedish tradition of quality children's literature, going back to Astrid Lindgrens and beyond, and to spark conversation about children literature and its potentials. So ladies and gentlemen, so before I end my speech, I would like to extend my gratitude to all those who have contributed to the success of today's program. Your Excellency's visit today has reminded us that the strong bond that unite our two nations. So I hope that the collaboration between Malaysia and Sweden will continue to pave the way of numerous opportunities, from trades and commercial exchanges to collaborative academic and research opportunity for higher institutions. So these efforts will greatly benefit both our countries and set the foundation for continued success. Ampun tuanku, demikianlah sembah ucapan Patik. Patik sekali lagi mewakili seluruh tetamu yang hadir dengan penuh hormat dan takzimnya merafak sembah menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kasih atas perkenan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku Pemangku Raja berangkat hadir ke program pada pagi ini. Patik sudahi dengan wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Tusen tak. Menjunjung kasih tuanku. Ampun tuanku.
Thank you, Honorable Datuk, for the speech just now. Ampun Tuanku, ladies and gentlemen, next I humbly invite His Royal Highness the Regent of Perlis, Tuanku Syed Faizuddin Putra Ibni Tuanku Syed Sirajuddin Jamalulail, to address the audience. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dan salam sejahtera, Raja Berdaulat, rakyat berilmu, negeri sejahtera, Perlis maju serta salam ilmu keikhlasan, kecemerlangan UNIMAP. Alhamdulillah, saya bersyukur kehadrat Allah Azza wa Jalla kerana dengan limpah kurnia dan inayah jua maka dapatlah kita bersama-sama pada pagi yang tengah hari yang sungguh indah lagi berbahagia ini. Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful to Allah Azza wa Jalla for with His grace and blessings that we can be together on this lovely day. First and foremost, allow me to give a warm welcome to His Excellency Dr. Bergstrom, the Ambassador of Sweden to Malaysia, and his colleague, the Vice Chancellor of UNIMAP, and also to all the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be here today participating in this meaningful conversation on issues regarding sustainability, health, and children's rights. I very much welcome the Swedish Embassy's initiative, Jom Kita Bincang, which aims to promote the important role of children's literature and its development in our societies. Education plays a critical role in raising awareness, and children's literature has special formative functions because it can capture the imagination and shape minds of the young. Sadly, reading among children and the youth is declining. Jom Kita Bincang becomes important to spur conversations among adults and children. The responsibility to preserve and pass on knowledge and also to inspire young people to read becomes a core task in this mission. Ladies and gentlemen, curiosity is a gateway to knowledge. Books provide stories of fantastic imaginations, adventure, and courage. Stories also carry important lessons and values for the rest of our lives. Children's books also provide stories valuing respect for one another and for our beautiful world. Ladies and gentlemen, on a final note, we often say that children are the future, which is true, but we must not forget that our responsibility to them lies in the present. We are the custodians of today, and if we desire change, we must equip the coming generations with the necessary tools to do so. I therefore warmly welcome this initiative by the Embassy of Sweden as a concrete measure to that end. I hereby officiate the project Jom Kita Bincang Perlis, Sustainability, Health and Social Issues through Children's Literature. And here I would like to apologize to Your Excellency for not being able to stay on to listen to your presentation after this because I have to attend Tun Mahathir's visit to Tuanku Raja in a short while. But I'm sure everyone will enjoy and I'm sure His Excellency will bring you through all the way to, I don't know, Stockholm or Gothenburg, Malmö, or wherever beautiful cities in Sweden. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, His Royal Highness the
Apa ni, Datuk VC kita makan meatball 3 biji dah boleh cakap Swedish.
Thank you, His Royal Highness the Regent of Perlis, for the speech just now. Ampun tuanku, ladies and gentlemen, our event continues with the symbolic launching of Jom Kita Bincang. All honorable guests, please welcome to be on the stage. Ampun tuanku, Jom Kita Bincang is an effort to promote early reading, advance the conversation, and promote successful practices on sustainability, health, and social issues. Ampun tuanku, symbolic launching of Jom Kita Bincang will begin in 3, 2, 1.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Talk about it. Exploring sustainability, health, and social issues through children's literacy is an initiative by the Embassy of Sweden, Malaysia in collaboration with Yayasan Tuanku Syed Putra, Perpustakaan Tuanku Syed Faizuddin Putra, and Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Perlis. Ampun tuanku, ladies and gentlemen, our event continues with the souvenir bestowing session. I would like to invite His Excellency Dr. Joachim Bergstrom for the bestowing of souvenirs by the Vice Chancellor of UNIMEP, while being witnessed by His Royal Highness the Regent of Perlis. Ladies and gentlemen, next is the souvenir bestowing session from His Excellency to UNIMEP, also witnessed by His Royal Highness the Regent of Perlis. Ampun tuanku. Thank you, Honorable Dato' and His Excellency, menjunjung kasih tuanku. Sidang hadirin dimohon berdiri. Mengumumkan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku Pemangku Raja Perlis berangkat meninggalkan majlis. Ladies and gentlemen, our event continues with the lecture series. Before we begin, allow me to introduce our distinguished speaker for today. Since August 2021, His Excellency Dr. Joachim Bergstrom is the ambassador of Sweden to Malaysia. From September 2019 to August 2021, His Excellency was Sweden's ambassador to Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Previously, he was the ambassador to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and ambassador for intercultural and interreligious dialogue from 2017 to 2019. He holds a PhD in history from the University of Tokyo with a dissertation on transnational public memory of war crimes during World War II. His Excellency is a clinical psychologist and former journalist working for media organizations in Sweden, Japan, and the United States. After joining the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, he has been posted to Tokyo, Riyadh, and also Washington, D.C. And now, please join me to invite and welcome His Excellency Dr. Joachim Bergstrom, Ambassador of Sweden to Malaysia, to deliver the lecture series. The stage is yours, Your Excellency.
Excellencies, friends, Salamat Pagi. I'm very honored that you have all taken the time to be with us and to spend this beautiful Monday in Perlis together. My name is Joachim Bergstrom, and I'm the Swedish ambassador to Malaysia. It's really, again, my pleasure to be here at UNIMAP today, a key institution for higher learning in Perlis and in Malaysia. I am someone who has spent a great part of my life and many years within academia, so walking on campus and hanging out at the library, I feel in my element. I was asked to provide a guest lecture here today, and since it's my job to promote good bilateral relations between our two countries, I thought that I should provide a snapshot about what Sweden is and what we do in Malaysia. Sweden is located in the far north of Europe. It's slightly larger than Malaysia by land mass, but at 10.5 million inhabitants, we have about a third of the population of Malaysia. Sweden is a fairly old country. Last year, we celebrated 500 years as a nation. We are a parliamentary democracy, and like Malaysia, we also have a monarch, and our current king of Sweden, his name is Carl XVI Gustaf. He has been on the throne for more than 50 years. Sweden has never been a colonial power, but our history is rife with war. The last war we fought was in 1814, and we are very proud to say that we have now been a peaceful nation for 200 years. The wars left Sweden poor, and up until the 19th century, we were among the poorest countries in Europe. But then something came around and changed. Sweden became industrialized, started to trade with the world, and has turned out to be quite good inventors of things. You may not realize, but much of the everyday things that you use in your life actually originate from Sweden. The refrigerator, the Celsius thermometer, the zipper, the ship propeller, the safety match, the milk carton, ball bearings, seat belts, the computer mouse, Bluetooth, and Spotify. These are some of the things that were invented in Sweden, and or their inventors originated from the country. Our most famous inventor is probably Alfred Nobel. He invented dynamite and later established the renowned Nobel Prize, which every year since 1901 is awarded to those who have conferred the greatest benefit to humankind. With all these inventions and the comforts of peace and democracy, Sweden has progressed, and a large number of companies were established which provided quality goods, services, and jobs to the Swedish economy, and in the early years of my childhood, Sweden was the richest country in the world per capita basis. Simultaneously, as the economy grew, so did the welfare state, which provided free education, free medical care, and a whole range of social services to our citizens so that everyone could be granted the same opportunities in life, regardless of where they came from. Equality and human rights are core principles in our democracy, not only because it's the right thing to do, but also because it promotes a safe society, and a safe society is a good thing for the economy. But as our economy grew, we were also confronted with the consequences of environmental degradation. Sweden is a country that, like Malaysia, is blessed with natural resources. However, we did not manage them in a sustainable manner. The government thus started to introduce legislations and regulations to mitigate industries and consumers' impact on the government. But rules and laws can only do so much. The most important measure to educate people so that they understand why it's vital to act in a way that is more environmentally friendly. Various educational programs were therefore brought forward to children and adults alike. Today, environmentalism is mainstreamed in all our educational institutions, from universities to kindergartens, where in the latter, small children regularly visit the local forests to interact with nature and get lessons in how to take care of trees and plants. This leads us to talk a little more about the issue of sustainability. Given how much effort we have put into educating our population about the importance of our environment and the stiff regulations we have put in place to mitigate industry's impact, it comes as no surprise that sustainability is something very important to Swedes and has become part of our culture. Climate action, environmentalism, and sustainability are among the most important political issues to Swedes. It is key to voters on both local and national level. For Swedish cities, this has resulted in many positive changes. Old industrial plots have been turned around into walkable gardens with shops and restaurants. The building norms have changed in order to promote the use of less carbon-intensive materials, like wood instead of steel and concrete. New technologies have sprung up that enable the wood to be as strong, if not stronger, than concrete. Using wood also enhances air quality in both indoor and outdoor environments, as it is a renewable resource. Our landfills are almost gone. Less than 1% of garbage end up in landfills. 99% is either recycled or turned into heat and electricity in our waste-to-energy plants. We actually import garbage from other countries in Europe to turn it into energy. Not only does this reduce the impact in our local environment, but it also lowers our electricity bills. In the 1990s, we started converting food waste into biogas that provide fuel to cities, to the city's buses, the bus services. This is now implemented in Swedish cities and has reduced air pollution in the environment significantly. And that also rests on an innovation. So let us dig a little deeper into the issue of innovation. So as you can hear, sustainability approach is also one that promotes innovation. Sweden is currently ranked number 2 in the Global Innovation Index. During a long time, it was inconceivable to think that we can lower our emissions while also maintaining economic growth. But this is no longer true. In the early 1990s, the Swedish economy managed to decouple economic growth from increasing greenhouse gas emissions, and by now we have managed to lower our CO2 emissions by 40% compared to the levels of 1990. Companies, universities, and independent institutions are often geared to commit their research to more sustainable and environmentally friendly solutions. And this is, again, not only because it's the right thing to do, but because it is economically prudent. Our companies' capacity to compete on a global market depend on their ability to innovate, and what consumers and investors want are sustainable solutions. Sustainability, therefore, is competitiveness. The green transition is here for all of us, regardless of the society or sector, and I think that one sector that is particularly relevant to the green transition, and here to highlight from the perspective of innovation and sustainability, is agriculture. And agriculture is, of course, also something very close to the hearts and minds of Perlis. Few sectors have as much impact on our climate and on the natural world as indeed agriculture. Our ability to cultivate plants and animals was the foundation of the first human civilizations. And few things bring us as people closer together than food. And of course, this is particularly true in Malaysia. Food industry is one of the largest industries in my country. Sweden's overall strategy to increase food production while making it greener, with one of the goals being to use more locally sourced produce. And while we talk about overall policy and various regulations, I think it is more fascinating and informative to look at some individual cases. There are a few innovative Swedish companies that contribute to more sustainable food production with worldwide effect. We probably subconsciously choose to ignore the fact that cows, they provide us with meat, but they also burp and fart. And in fact, they do this so much that it's a significant source of global methane emissions. And methane is particularly potent among the greenhouse gases. The small company Volta Greentech decided not to only stop ignoring this, but also to try to fix it using seaweed. Volta Greentech has produced loam, which is a seaweed-based feed supplement that reduces cow enteric methane emissions, the gas that builds up in their tummies, by 90% when fed a daily dose of 100 grams. The seaweed used is called I'll do it again. The seaweed used is called Asparagopsis. It contains high amounts of bioactive compounds that naturally prevents enteric methane production. For the vegans out there in the room, Melt and Marble has good news. It is quite possible for a burger to be made without animal products, to be equally delicious and satisfying as a burger that uses beef. And the key here is fat. Melt and Marble recreates the desired characteristics of animal fat through precision fermentation. This is the process where microbial metabolism is rewired and the structure and properties of the fats reproduced by those microbes are altered. The company's goal is to produce a sustainable animal-free product just as delicious as animal fat and completely guilt-free, unless, of course, you're on a diet. There are two small examples by but their innovations can have drastic impact by significantly reducing the emissions that come from the agricultural sector as a whole. It shows the potential that individuals or small firms can shift the course on a systemic level if the idea is bright enough. And this brings me to the relationship between Sweden and Malaysia. To foster exchanges on innovation, sustainability, trade, and education is also a bridge to understanding one another's culture. And this is the core mission of the Swedish Embassy here in Malaysia, and that of the Swedish Embassy of the Malaysian Embassy to Sweden, based in Stockholm. Sweden and Malaysia have enjoyed diplomatic relations since 1958. Our relationship has grown with the times, and now we are partnering on many issues. There are about 100 Swedish companies present in Malaysia, providing thousands of jobs across the country. This is a sign of the confidence in Malaysia that so many firms decide to invest and expand here. Malaysia should really pride itself on its ability to provide a second home for these leading enterprises in the region. The benefit is mutually shared. Malaysia's success is to the benefit of Sweden and vice versa. Going ahead, we are looking forward to strengthening the economic ties between our countries by promoting bilateral trade and investment. We're also focusing on strengthening the people-to-people relations. There's so much that we can learn about one another, not least when it comes to our natural surroundings. Sweden is a cold and harsh country with the North Pole next door, and Malaysia is one of the most biodiverse countries in the world with unique natural wonders. Although different, we share many similar challenges that can be turned around to opportunities when we collaborate. In order to tie ever closer bonds between our countries and to advance the discussion on how we approach difficult topics such as climate change, the embassy in Kuala Lumpur has initiated a project during the spring which is called Jom Kita Bincang. And we already inaugurated, you've heard some, but let me in a sentence or two briefly summarize that our project, Jom Kita Bincang, and a shout out to Luva, who has been program lead. Really a huge appreciation to my staff who has carried the burden. But the program, Let's Talk About It, was born out of conversations with friends and leaders in Malaysia about how Sweden can play a positive role in this country. The foundation of Swedish foreign policy and our good relationship with Malaysia is to work for democracy, sustainability, health, peace, and tolerance. And Jom Kita Bincang captures all these core tenets, as well as drawing on the rich tradition of children's literature. By inviting to forums and discussions, exhibitions, reading promotion workshops for both kids and adults, and translating some contemporary Swedish children's books into Bahasa Malaysia for the first time, we have sought to inspire creativity and an interest in reading, as well as to advance the conversation on issues such as sustainability, health, and social rights. We are very excited to be able to bring Jom Kita Bincang here to Perlis. The reception across Malaysia could not have been warmer, and I would like to thank all our partners in the government, in academia, in civil society, and elsewhere for all the interest and enthusiastic collaboration. In fact, today I believe it's the 4th or 5th time. So we have done this in Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, in Penang, and in Kuching, and now here. So this is the 5th state that we launched the program in, and we're so proud to be able to exhibit, and grateful to UNIMAS, who has given us a home in Perlis. Sweden and Malaysia are both committed to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. This is an ambitious undertaking and will require both innovation and determination, as well as altering our attitudes and behaviors. Working through children's literature and education, we can meaningfully move in this direction and build a green, prosperous, and democratic tomorrow. With that, I thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the lecture just now. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we are in the Q&A session, so please feel free to ask questions to His Excellency. Please welcome.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Ismail Yusuf. Since maybe you knows that UNIMAP is actually a tech university, engineering and technology, but I'm definitely not one of them. My background is political science. So my question would be more inclined toward war and diplomacy. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, King Gustav II, King of Sweden, once said that war is neither a river nor a lake, but a vast ocean of evil. So war is very terrible. My question to you is, since you are an ambassador, you must believe in diplomacy. But like Frederick the Great of Prussia said, diplomacy without armaments is like music without instrument. What is the diplomatic solution that you think is possible for the Ukraine question? Because we know that the war in Ukraine doesn't have any solution currently. It's keep going on, going on. If something happened to Europe, Europe is our third, maybe fourth largest trading partner. We Malaysia, we do not want anything bad to happen to Europe also. So what is the solution? Is there a diplomatic solution or a more hawkish approach? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. I think in addition to your political science title, you should also add poet, because I read quite a lot of poetry in your question. And let me first say, as a human being and as a scholar, also, it was mentioned in your very generous introduction, I'm somebody who studied World War II, and as a historian, and I'm somebody who also, as a psychologist, has taken an interest in conflict resolution and so forth. Personally, I don't believe that there is any other way than dialogue, and to engage in dialogue when conflict has happened. But equally important, and perhaps even more important, is conflict resolution through dialogue and through the democratic process. That is why so much of our efforts when it comes to promoting peace and prosperity and conflict resolution has been geared towards strengthening the democratic process and the democratic structures, making sure that elections are held properly, making sure that the media can operate freely, making sure that people have a good sense of education and literacy in order to be part of the democratic process. So I think that is huge. And you study political science, so you also know this very age-old tension in the diplomatic field between interests and values. Any American or European scholar on diplomacy will talk about this tension and present it as if there were on a binary opposition. I don't believe they are. And for instance, I think that the promotion of democracy and of dialogue is traditionally seen as a value agenda. To me and to my mind, I think it's a clear interest agenda. If we can promote democracy and dialogue, it is in our interest. And this brings me to the situation of Russia and Ukraine. We firmly believe that Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Russia is a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, and that they have acted in stark, violent violation of the UN Charter, and that the Russia's war on Ukraine is illegal and must therefore stop. But bringing it back to, and so the solution, of course, will have to be diplomatic, but place a huge onus on Russia to cease hostilities and to return to negotiations and to a diplomatic solution. But going back to the genesis, I think Russia, all democracies are challenged, and there is not a perfect democracy anywhere. But I believe that the last couple of years, developments in Russia have also underlined that Russia's democracy has serious issues, and that a truly democratic country where there is true accountability to the citizens and the voters, and to the mothers and fathers of those who are now dying for this war on the battlefield. If there was true accountability, Russia would not have and democracy, Russia would not have acted in this way. So again, I'm somebody both personally and professionally who renounce all kinds of violence. Democracy must be strengthened, and democracy is not a value. Human rights, democracy, freedom of liberties, these are not value projects. I think that they are clear interest projects. And lastly, I will say that democracy, human rights, the right to live in dignity, these are not Eastern or Western or Northern or Southern concepts. They are universal, and we stand for them in their universality. I do not want to come to Perlis and speak like a European and speak as somebody who think that we know better. No. We also have plenty to learn, and the spirit of Jom Kita Bincang is also that we can learn by actually listening to one another and entering into dialogue, both positive and negative ones, and we can agree to disagree, but to do that in the spirit of Bincang, and to do that with a sense of humility.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Any other questions? Maybe we can offer 3 questions. Another 2. Okay.
Desmond. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. My name is Muhammad Nabil Aiman bin Asrul from Faculty of Electronic and Technology. Now I am final year student, and my FYP title is Retinal Image Classification using Convolutional Neural Network. So my question is, if there opportunity for studies in Sweden to my continue to the postgrad studies? Thank you, sir.
Student exchange and research exchange is, I believe, one of the most important things to bring the world together, to share knowledge and to advance the fields in which we are engaged. In fact, I personally have also spent huge parts of my life at foreign universities, so I'm somebody who believes in this. And I would encourage you to really look into the relevant and applicable programs in my country. We have today, I believe, as many as more than 1,000 different masters and tertiary education courses that are offered in English. And in fact, much of the education system now in Sweden, when it comes to university, is transforming into education in English. So the opportunities are there. We have an officer at the embassy in Kuala Lumpur who also works with student and research exchange. So you're very welcome to reach out to her as well for a dialogue on what programs can be applicable. But I sincerely hope that you will be able to also bring your knowledge from Malaysia to Europe and to enrichen the field of study there by your presence.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon, dear sir. My name is Syarahan. I'm the Dean of Mechanical Faculty. Previously, we have very good collaboration with Japanese embassy and Japanese embassy in the Penang and also in Kuala Lumpur regarding their organizing a meet, Jom Sembang, a meet with Japanese industries in Malaysia to work together for collaboration in research and others. From that, there are many collaboration and including receiving grant for joint industry and UNIMAP research collaboration to improve the Japanese industries in Malaysia. So would there be any such collaboration with Swedish industries in Malaysia with our faculties or with our university? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sweden in Malaysia has over the past year been engaged in a platform that's called Pioneer the Possible, that brings innovation and sustainability through economic enterprise to different fora. And so we have organized programs around green production, around green mobility, on digitalization, water, hydrogen, etc. And I would very much welcome a collaboration with Perlis on these sustainable practices, bringing both companies from Malaysia and Sweden together in conversation about the green transition and the sustainability shift, but also with a clearer stakeholdership by academia, and where we can also explore how innovation plays a part in the green transition solutions here in Malaysia. So this is absolutely something that we would welcome taking the dialogue further on.
Okay, just in case anybody else has any more question, we have opened up 3, just in case if we have one more. Okay, thank you so much, His Excellency,
Thank you.
for the lecture series. Okay, thank you, Your Excellency, for answering the questions just now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our ceremony. I would like to take this opportunity to express our appreciation to everybody involved in ensuring this event a success. Thank you very much. Terlebih dahulu, sebelum kita bersurai, pihak majlis ingin menyampaikan ucapan salam daripada Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku kerana terpaksa meninggalkan majlis lebih awal sebentar tadi atas urusan rasmi yang lain. Sidang hadirin dimohon berdiri. Majlis akan diakhiri dengan nyanyian lagu Semangat Unimap. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Visi universiti, visi berintegriti, dinamik bangsa berinteraksi, visi kita semua membina jiwa minda, sama semangat untuk negara. Visi universiti, visi berintegriti, dinamik bangsa berinteraksi, visi kita semua membina jiwa minda, sama semangat untuk negara. Misi cemerlang, gemilang, terbilang. Misi cemerlang, gemilang, terbilang. Unimap.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we dismissed, let us have a photography session with our guest of honor. Okay, those who are